morning. It's become kind of a tradition here at WBZ as part of our effort to stay in touch with important political developments here in our beloved hometown that every 2 years when a new Boston City Council president is elected, we get him right in here to debrief him, get him on the record, and set him up for the inevitable fall down there. No, just kidding about that. This time around, it's kind of extra special because the new president is the first Asian American and the youngest member of the council, Attorney Michelle Wu. Madam President, congratulations.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Thank you for coming. Now, you grew up in Chicago and came here to go to college and law school and stayed, like so many Bostonians.
Yes.
As an, quote, outsider, what did you observe when you first moved here and in the subsequent years about the political culture that informs your work now as an elected official?
I love that Bostonians are so fiercely proud of the city, and that pride is very, very local. And so every single neighborhood, every block, you can see the markers of history. You can see people attached to what came before them. And I think that is fundamental to Boston politics, right? We have to honor the past. We have to remember what the context is politically and make sure that we are addressing every community, every group as specifically as possible, because we are so unique and we are so attached to our local flavors here.
Is that different than someplace like Chicago?
Chicago and Boston are actually very similar in that way.
I've actually noticed that.
Yeah,
that's our evil twin. Good hockey team, too.
Good food, good, good sports, and
ethnic pride and
absolutely.
Distinct neighborhoods.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, I know this is rude, but you don't mind. You're 30 years old.
I am.
Is there a generation gap in terms of perception of what Boston is and what it should be between your generation and the older generations in the city?
I find campaigning around the city and speaking to residents in every neighborhood that all of these sort of generally held stereotypes shatter very quickly. I find that residents who have lived in Boston for multiple generations and their entire lives are just as excited about some of the changes happening around policy, around city government, and more activity and nightlife. And then there are residents from every background who are very interested in supporting the keeping traditions going. So I find it cuts both ways, and there's really no way to put Bostonians in any box.
Now, at your swearing in last week, you talked about, quote, historic inequality and uneven opportunity in the city, things that have led to, quote, stark divisions, you said. Now, more than 30 years ago, before you were born, I recall Ray Flynn talking about linkage as the way to tie downtown wealth to economic opportunity in the neighborhoods. Was that a failure? Because you're talking about the same problems he was talking about.
This is an issue that is fundamental to Boston, but also one that we're struggling with across the country. The fact that the middle class, working families are finding it harder and harder to get onto that pathway to economic stability. And certainly some of the programs that Boston was right at the forefront of connecting our economic development downtown to every neighborhood are still central to affordable housing and job training in the city. In fact, the council over the last term, since the last term, has been talking about linkage and how we continue to update that. The mayor and the administration recently updated the inclusionary development program, also a hallmark of connecting development, IDP for the residential side, to supporting those who are least fortunate.
You updated it how?
The mayor and the administration changed some of the numbers, dividing the city into different zones, so that now construction of residential units in the downtown area, it's more expensive. The developers have to pay a higher payout fee to construct, and that fee that they pay out goes into the Affordable Housing Fund.
All right, I want to talk more after the break about the Walsh administration and its interaction with the council. So take a breath, Councilor, and we'll do that when we continue our conversation with new Boston City Council President Michelle Wu in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our conversation with the newly elected president of the Boston City Council, second-term councilor Michelle Wu. Councilor, Asian Americans have been such an integral part of the city and of the broader community for so long. Why aren't there more prominent Asian American elected officials?
Again, this is an issue that we are struggling with across the country. In Boston, I'm very fortunate that Sam Yoon opened the door for Asian Americans on the city council, but I'm still only the second ever Asian American to serve on the council in a city where our Chinatown is one of the oldest Chinatowns across the country. One of the Chinese schools there has been in Chinatown for 96 years now, serving residents. So, you know, there are...
Are there cultural reasons?
When I was growing up, I never imagined running for office, and I think a big part of that was not seeing anyone who looked like me in government. I was told all the time to consider figure skating because Michelle Kwan was such a popular and nationally known figure, Asian American woman. So I hope that the younger generation does look around, the younger generation from every background, seeing a diverse representation in our government today, and can envision themselves stepping up.
I mean, I know for some groups, particularly newer immigrants, there's a feeling of lay low, fit in, politics is sharp elbow time, don't cause a stir. Has that been a factor also?
Certainly in my family, that was the attitude towards politics. My parents had immigrated from Taiwan shortly before I was born, and their parents had immigrated from China to the island of Taiwan during Civil War. And for them, politics represented even more than sharp elbows, but danger and war and a lot of civil discord. So they wanted me to pursue a path that was more stable, more certain, and I think they're still a little shocked.
And you ignored their advice. So speaking of sharp elbows, historically in the city, the mayor and the city council have, I don't want to call it an adversarial relationship, but it can be a little bit that way at times. How or have things been between the council and this new mayoral administration, and what needs to be improved?
They've been great. What I appreciate about Mayor Walsh is that his emphasis in terms of relating to the council has always been on communication rather than agreement or forcing a certain view. So we've, over the last term in office together, had a great record of collaboration, and that partnership between the mayor and the city council has resulted in, I think, the elevation of city government overall. We've seen landmark legislation like paid parental leave introduced in Boston, and environmental regulations and immigration regulations that really put Boston in the national spotlight.
But if I recall correctly, you were not the one who was rah-rah about the Summer Olympics coming here. Is that right? I
was very concerned about the impact on our city's finances, about the time frame, and I think many residents felt the same way.
Has the mayor learned his lesson from that debacle?
You know, I think the conversation was great for Boston and for the region to have, and we as a city always need to be thinking big. So I don't think in any way it's a debacle and something that Boston should regret. But we embarked on a visioning process for the city. We came to the realization that this would not be in the best interest for Boston financially and for our future. And we are no longer the bid city.
Well, Councilor, our time is way too short. We're going to look forward to having you here again. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, John.
That was the friendly interview. The next one, all bets are off. Good to have you.
Thanks.
Boston City Council President Michelle Wu. That's it for me. Now it's back to my colleagues for more WBZ News.